For any exam-related queries, call us at +1 678 648 4277. You can mail us at support@economicsexamp.com or reach us at https://www.economicsexamhelp.com. Economic analysis for business decisions. Problem transfer pricing. 1. Acme Incorporated has a monopoly over the production of calculators. Liquid crystal displays, LCDs, are an input into calculators. Acme has the capacity to produce its own LCDs. The demand for calculators is given by P equals 135, 2Q1 LCD goes into each calculator, and the cost of producing a calculator is $10 over and above the cost of the LCD. Acme's cost function for producing LCDs is where QD is the quantity of LCDs produced. Acme is divided into two subsidiaries, Acme Displays and Acme Calculators. Managers of each are told to maximize the profits of the subsidiary at which they work. A. If Acme cannot buy or sell LCDs, what is the optimal transfer price that Acme, headquarters, should set for LCDs? How many LCDs will Acme transfer internally? What would be the price of calculators? What will Acme's profits be? And how will they be divided between the two subsidiaries? economicsexamhelp.com. B. Suppose now that Acme let the subsidiaries themselves set the price of their products. Under the same assumption that subsidiaries maximize profits, what are the prices they set for LCDs and calculators? What are the profits of each subsidiary? Explain briefly why the total profits of Acme are lower than in A. Asymmetric information. 2. Problem number 9, p.620 in Pindyck and Rubenfeld, 5th ed., parts A, B, and C. Note: consider whether Lou's will or will not match Harry's offers. 2-3. 3. Decide whether each of the following three statements is true, false, or uncertain, and give a brief but clear explanation why. Note: these questions provide practice for the true, false, uncertain section on the final exam. Antitrust. A. For some years, Microsoft offered original equipment manufacturers, OEMs, a choice of methods of payment for operating system software. OEMs could either 1. Buy the software for each machine on which it was installed at a very high price, or 2. Contract on the basis of the numbers of machines sold, regardless of whose operating software was installed, a so-called per-processor contract. This practice is not anti-competitive. economicsexamhelp.com. Auctions. B. In a Dutch, descending price, auction for an object for which the bidders have independent and different valuations, participants should bid their true reservation prices. Incentives and information. C. Sloan is considering the addition of theft insurance for laptop computers as a part of annual school tuition. All students have laptops, and in the past an average of 5% of these computers has been stolen over the course of a year, at an average loss of $2,000 each. On the basis of that experience, the school is thinking of providing the insurance to all students and increasing the tuition by $100. This is a good insurance policy. Among other things, it allows Sloan to break even. Common property and incentives. 4. Consider two farmers and two pieces of land. We want to know what the effect is of each farmer working his own piece of land versus the farmers cooperating and jointly working on the two pieces of land. To simplify the exposition, we will denote these as independent farmers and cooperative farmers respectively. Assume that each farmer, whether independent or cooperative, can decide on his own how much time to spend on farming. economicsexamhelp.com. Let Farmer I's weekly time spent on farming be denoted high, in hours per week, so H1 for farmer 1 and H2 for farmer 2. The farmer's productivity, expressed in bushels of grain, is directly proportional to the time he spends on farming. In particular, an independent farmer produces 80 high bushels of grain if he works high hours per week. Farmers in a cooperative are more productive since they can specialize. A cooperative farmer produces 90 high bushels of grain if he works high hours per week. Cooperative farmers share the output of their farm equally. Let by be the bushels of grain that farmer I can take home at the end of the year, then by equals 80 high for an independent farmer, while by equals 90H1 plus 90H2/2 for a cooperative farmer. Farmers dislike working and more so as they work more. In particular, farmer I's utility is. We assumed that a farmer I will choose high to maximize his utility UI. A. Write out the utility functions of an independent farmer and a cooperative farmer completely in terms of H1 and H2. B. How many hours will an independent farmer work, assuming that farmers choose high to maximize their utility? What is his utility? economicsexamhelpe.com. C. How many hours will a cooperative farmer work? What is his utility? D. What is the problem with a cooperative farm? What would happen, qualitatively, if 100 farmers worked jointly in a cooperative farm? How could the farmers solve that problem? economicsexamhelpe.com. 1. In this problem, ACME has an upstream division that makes calculator displays, and a downstream division that assembles the calculator. We are given the demand for calculators, and the costs of the divisions. A. The optimal transfer price for displays is set to the marginal cost of displays. To calculate P.D., we need to find the optimal quantity of displays for Acme. Profit equals PQ processing cost, Q, cost of displays taking the derivative with respect to Q and setting it equal to 0. economicsexamhelpe.com. Solutions. With one display for each calculator, this means that QD equals 20 and the optimal transfer price. B. Now the divisions set the prices instead. The upstream division will have monopoly power and this will result in a double marginalization, that is, the upstream division will have a markup, PDMCD, as will the downstream division, PCalc-MC-Calc. This leads to deadweight loss at both stages, with the deadweight loss resulting from the upstream markup coming straight out of Acme's profits. Upstream. economicsexamhelpe.com. First, figure out the demand for displays from the downstream division. The calculator producer will maximize. Note, the demand curve that the upstream firm faces is Acme's net marginal revenue the upstream firm is then maximizing, because the upstream firm can act like a monopoly. Substitute in the demand curve for PD, given above as PD equals 125 for QD, or taking the derivative with respect to QD and setting it equal to 0. economicsexamhelpe.com. Assuming that the managers are maximizing their own profits implies that the manager of the upstream division will behave monopolistically, restricting output to the point at which MCD equals Mr. D. Note that this is not the point at which MCD equals net marginal revenue, i.e. the point at which total firm profits are maximized. In effect, we now have two monopolies and the double marginalization will restrict output more than is optimal for the firm as a whole. This double marginalization can be seen from the slopes of the division's marginal revenue curves. The slope of MR Calc doubles the slope of the market demand from 2 to 4, and the slope of the Mr. D doubles the slope again, from 4 to 8. In contrast, Part A had ACME setting the transfer price to the marginal cost of displays, eliminating the deadweight loss from the upstream production decision and maximizing total firm profits. 2a. If Harry offers a 1-year warranty, the question asks whether Lou will match it or